Our directions say to make a math argument about how many birds are in each row and then write the number. So we have to use a way to explain how we know that there are 4 birds in row 1. We can use counters to mark each bird. So for number 1, we can put a counter over each bird. So we're going to do 1 counter over the first bird, 2, 3, 4. So we know our argument can be, we know that there are 4 birds in number 1 because we used 4 counters. We can say there is 1 counter for each bird, and there are 4 counters total, so there are 4 birds. Go ahead and write the number 4 for number 1. Trace the dots down, across, and down. Now for number 2, we can do the same thing. We can put 1 counter over the first bird, another counter over the second bird, and another counter over the other bird. So let's count our counters. 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 counters for 1, 2, 3 birds. So our argument would be there is 1 counter for each 1 bird. So there are 3 counters for 3 birds. Now write the number 3. Good job. All right, turn the page to 43. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this page, but we're looking at leaves. Okay, so get your counters. And remember, if you're at home, you can just draw dots instead of using counters. So I'm going to put 1 over the first one, another one over the second one, another one over the third one. Keep going. So let's count our counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's count our leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our argument is that I know there are 5 leaves because there are 5 counters. There is 1 counter for each leaf. There are 5 leaves and 5 counters. Go ahead and write the number 5. Across, down, and around. All right, let's do the same thing for number 4. We have 1 counter and another counter. We have 2 counters, 1, 2, and 2 leaves, 1, 2. So I know there are 2 leaves because I used 2 counters. 1 counter for each leaf. Now let's write our number 2. Up, around, and down, and across. Now you go ahead and do number 5 and 6. Use your counters to count, and then write your numbers. Press play when you're done to check your answers. Let's check those answers. For number 5, you should have used 4 counters for the 4 leaves. So your argument to explain how you know there are 4 leaves would be there are 4 counters for each leaf. So 1 counter for 1 leaf. So I know there are 4 counters because I used 4. I know there are 4 leaves because I used 4 counters. Now for number 6, I know there are 3 leaves because I used 3 counters. And remember to write your